Shalom Aleichem. Once again, this is your brother Pensadek, and once again, I am so glad to tell. There's a lot of people who are victims to the child support scam. Okay, they are living in, like I would say, fear. They're afraid of the child support system, the Title 4D. But let me tell you, people, there's nothing to fear. Okay, there's nothing to fear. Okay, trust in the Almighty, who is love. And he has never given us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of love. Okay? Fear is bondage, bondage to the evil one. Okay? Satan and his reign or his kingdom, they strive off fear. They get energy from fear. Okay? Fear nothing and no one. And even in the scripture, when they say fear the Almighty, it doesn't mean that negative fear where people have anxiety and scaredness. No, it just means respect, revere, respect to our Creator. The Creator does not deal with fear, okay? It's all about love, okay? And being obedient to Him. Now, let's get back to Title 4D. Do not be afraid. As a matter of fact, they should be more afraid of you than for them. The reason being, let me give you some example. This is how they trick you or trick the people. 45 CFR 302.34, known as the corporate agreement, is a contract where the Title 4D enter into the state, into the county. And when they enter into the county, they enter into a contract with the courts, judges, magistrate service, the sheriff's office, probation, state attorney, and so on and so forth. Now, if you notice, these are all constitutional elected position where all these entities have to swear an oath to uphold and defend our rights, which are protected by the Constitution. Okay? So this is how they trick you. When you go to a hearing, first thing they send you an invitation telling you to come to court. Number one is not a court. I said this over and over, and many gurus say the same thing. 45 CFR 302.34 are contracts, okay? Corporate agreement. Now, under 42 U.S.C. 654, Section 3, it calls for a single and separate organizational unit. The title for the agency, it is single and separate from the court, single and separate from the legislative. It's a private business which is housed or doing business under the state's executive branch, okay? So it's not a court, but they tell you to come to court. Then when you go, those who do go, you sit in front of either a commissioner, some jurisdiction use an hearing officer, some use a magistrate. None of these people are judges, okay? Some jurisdiction even have them wearing that black robe, which is the Grim Reaper, which symbolizes death, okay? And so when you see that black robe, you think it's a judge. And then the part of the trick is the state attorney or the title for the agency referring to this person as your honor. Deception, it tricks you. You think you're in front of a judge. It's not a judge and it's not a court, okay? One of the way most people defeat these monsters is challenging their jurisdiction. Jurisdiction just means their authority, and they do not have any authority to do what they're doing. Sometimes they trick people through duress and kind of force people to contract with them. Now, any one of their own attorneys will tell you that no contract is valid if it's done under duress and without full disclosure, okay? And in a contract, there have to be what is known as a meeting of the minds. Both parties have to understand the rules are the, whatever governs that contract, they have to, commit to it. If you don't commit to the contract and you don't voluntarily sign into it, then it's null and void. There have to be what is called a meeting of the minds, okay? There have to be an offer. One party offers something. Next one, if they like it, they accept it, and then they put what is known as consideration. Everybody brings something to the table. Title 4D have none of this, okay? And like we quote this over and over, Blessing versus Freestone, the Supreme Court states several times that it's a provision. It's contractual by nature. Don't be afraid of these monsters, people. They should be afraid of you, and they will be afraid of you if you know how to stand up and defend your right. Remember, they're not doing you any favor, okay? It's your natural, unalienable right. You have to stand for it or you'll lose it. These people have nothing over you, so don't be afraid of them. Stand firm, be respectful. I always tell people be respectful because a lot of them they don't even know what they're doing. They're just doing a job to bring in money for the corporation. Okay, there's nothing to be a challenge in their jurisdiction in any event. That's the first test to see if an entity have any authority over you. And in this case, they do not. And even if you sign a paternity, there are certain rules that have to be followed for that paternity to be valid. Notice I say rule, not law, because 42 USC is not law. It's a non-positive code. Okay, it's not law. So they use these rules and they try to trick you into thinking that they're law. But like I said, challenging their jurisdiction is very, very easy. There's so many things to challenge concerning their jurisdiction, which they fail in every event. So, like I said, it's not hard. Do your research. And like I said, the devil sends fear. When they see you fear, they'll throw the book at you. But when they see you stand up firm like a warrior, a spiritual warrior that you are, then they'll back down. Okay? The fight isn't easy all the time because sometimes they put up a challenge. Sometimes they have this habit where they'll kill you with the what I'll call the silence game, where you'll file your paperwork and they'll just ignore it. And the reason why they ignore it is because they cannot legally or lawfully respond to it. So they just do the ignoring game. And even that, there's a way to deal with that. So until then, people, be strong, be of good courage, okay? And fight for your right. Shalom Aleichem. And once again, peace be unto you. And I am so glad to tell.